I never thought a company party would be the place where my marriage was tested, but that's exactly where everything changed. My name is Callum Rhodes. I'm 39, work logistics, quiet by nature, the kind of man who listens more than he speaks. My wife, Alara, is 36, brilliant, ambitious, and works in corporate marketing. For 8 years, I trusted her completely, not because I was naive, but because trust was never something I had to force. It just existed between us, steady and unspoken. The invitation came 2 weeks before the event. Alara mentioned it casually over dinner, said her office was hosting a quarterly celebration at a downtown hotel. Open bar, speeches, networking. She asked if I wanted to come. I hesitated, not because of jealousy, but because those rooms aren't built for people like me. I don't enjoy small talk with strangers who measure their worth by job titles. Still, she smiled and said it would mean a lot. So I went. The ballroom was loud, polished, expensive in a way that feels intentional. Everyone looked rehearsed. Alara fit right in, elegant in a navy dress, confident, radiant. I stood beside her, hand on the small of her back, observing. Her co-workers greeted her warmly. Then her boss arrived, Marcus Halden, mid-40s, tailored suit, practiced charm, the kind of man who believes every room bends slightly toward him. At first, nothing felt off. Marcus shook my hand, firm grip, quick smile, eyes already drifting back to Alara. Complimented her work, her presentation last quarter, said the department wouldn't function without her. Normal praise. I stepped back, gave them space, sipped my drink. That's when I noticed the pattern. How often he leaned in. How his hand lingered a second too long when he laughed. How he positioned himself between us during conversations. I didn't react. I don't flare up over instincts. I observe. I collect information. Alara seemed uncomfortable, though she kept it subtle. A half step back. A polite smile held too long. I watched her glance at me more than once, checking, maybe reassuring herself. That alone told me something mattered. Later, as the night wore on and the music grew louder, Marcus suggested a toast. He raised his glass, praised teamwork, then shifted his focus entirely to Alara. Said she was the future of the company. Said talent like hers deserved recognition. His words crossed from professional into personal territory, wrapped in applause so no one would question it. His hand found her waist. Not accidental. Not brief. That was the moment. Not anger. Clarity. Alara stiffened. She didn't smile. She didn't laugh it off. She moved his hand away. Gently, but deliberately. Marcus leaned closer, said something I couldn't hear. She shook her head. I stepped forward then, not rushed, not loud, just present. I placed my hand over hers, steady, grounding. Marcus looked at me, surprised, like he'd forgotten I existed. I said his name calmly, told him I thought he misunderstood his role. The music covered my voice, but not my meaning. He smirked, offered a half apology, said it was just celebration energy. I told him celebration doesn't excuse disrespect, especially not toward my wife. People were watching now. He adjusted his tone, chuckled, tried to reclaim control. That's when Alara spoke. Clear, composed. She said she was there as an employee, not an accessory, and asked him to step away. The silence that followed was louder than the band. Marcus backed off, but his expression shifted. Embarrassment curdled into irritation. He left shortly after. The party continued, but the mood around us changed. Conversations softened. People avoided eye contact. Alara squeezed my hand. We didn't discuss it then. We left early. In the car, she exhaled like she'd been holding her breath for weeks. She told me this wasn't the first time. That Marcus had pushed boundaries before. Compliments that felt loaded. Invitations that felt unnecessary. She said she managed it because she didn't want trouble. Because she worked hard for her position. Because power complicates things. I listened, didn't interrupt. When she finished, I told her she wasn't alone. That whatever came next, we'd face it together. She cried then, quietly, not from fear, but from release. 2 days later, she reported him, not impulsively, documented emails, witnesses. That night at the party sealed it. The company launched an investigation. Marcus was placed on leave pending review. 3 weeks later, he resigned. People talk about winning like it's loud, like someone has to be humiliated publicly. That wasn't this. This was about boundaries being enforced without chaos. About a man learning that not every woman in his orbit is available for his entitlement. About a marriage proving itself not through control, but through respect. Alara stayed at the company. She was promoted 6 months later under new leadership. Stronger, more confident. I stayed the same. Quiet, observant, present. Some lines don't need crossing to be defended. Some lessons are learned fastest when they're met with calm resistance and unity. Marcus tried crossing the line that night. He learned fast who he was dealing with. Not because I raised my voice, but because I didn't have to.